This is how to build a camper van yourself. I built my camper van in 5 months. The first thing I did was obviously buy it. It's a 2017 Ford Transit. It was a passenger van and it had 12 seats back here. So I had to rip out all the seats. I had to rip out all the side paneling. I put in the plywood floors and I put the vinyl on top. And then the next thing I did immediately after, once it was completely ripped out and just had hardwood floors, was I decided to cut into the roof, which, as you can imagine, is the scariest possible thing you can do when you invested your life's money into a car. So what I did was I got this fancy little rig and I cut into the ceiling. I obviously measured everything out a million times because I was so scared. I cut it out, I put the fan in, I have a Max Air fan, put that in, I screwed that in with metal screws, and I also caulked around on the outside to make sure it was waterproof. I did the same thing with the sunroof, and then the next thing I did was the solar on top. For the solar, I used aluminum rods. I cut those to size and drilled into them in order to put those to the ceiling of the van and then put the solar to the aluminum rods.
There's going to be two in the front, a pair in the front, there, facing inward. There's going to be a bolt that goes down into the roof there. And then the top of it is going to be a long rail that goes, or bolts down to those, that goes like this. So it's going to be 2 levels.
So now I'm filing these. What's happening over there? So for solar, I have the fan and the sunroof in the middle, and then I have the 4 solar panels on the outside, and that's what worked best with the way the roof was configured, the way like the metal was, and everything. It just had to be that way. The next thing I did was wiring. I basically just envisioned and drew out blueprints of where I wanted the lights, where I wanted everything I needed wiring towards, and then while the van was empty, I wired everything that I needed to. Then I put tape on the wire so I knew what they were, and yeah, that was that. Mochi, I'm not throwing that for you. I just threw it for him. Alright, so right now I'm putting on this stuff. It's soundproof stuff, so I'm just doing it. I already did it on the ceiling panels, and I'm gonna just try to put them in some of these holes over here.
Every breath holds a moment, everyone a chance to take. You can see it if you close your eyes. We already know.
The next big project for the van was the kitchen. This was pretty extensive and something that took a lot of time, and I measured around the things I already had. Since I knew it was such a small space, I knew I needed to utilize every part of it. I also tried to keep the drawers as big as possible because every time you make a drawer, you lose space for the drawer guides. If there's a face frame, then that doesn't have to be as deep as we thought it was. The panel you're holding right now, the sheet of plywood, because that's adding length. Plus the back plate too.
But the fridge depth is determining your... Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. This is what we have done for the cabinets. We did the insulation back there. And I honestly didn't even process how small this is. Like, I didn't process how tiny this cabinetry is until we built it, and I was like, wow, I can literally touch both ends. So with that being said, I didn't have a lot of room, but I used plywood. I kind of configured a draft for that, and then I used hardwood poplar for the face frame. I made that separately and then connected the two with wood glue and screws. The screws left some holes, so I had to fill that with wood filler, and then I sanded on top of that. I sanded all around it actually, and then I was ready to paint it. So I painted the entire kitchen cabinet and installed that into the van. And I don't think I have footage of this part, but after that, I put the maple countertop on top of the van. So the maple countertop I bought, I don't remember how big it was, but it was a few feet too long, like it was too wide. So I had to cut that down. There's burn marks on the side of it, but I kept that to the side, you can't see. And then I had to cut a big hole for the sink in the middle. I had to cut around this part over here. There's like a pillar kind of, so I had to notch that out. Next, for the kitchen, I started making all the drawers and the cabinets, and that was pretty easy, except I ran into some problems just because of like me measuring wrong and stuff like that. So it didn't turn out exactly as the way the blueprints intended, but it worked out. We ran into a problem. We wanted the induction cooktop above the fridge, but there wasn't enough clearance room, and so we had to kind of find somewhere to put it and figure that out. But the fridge is here. So for everything I installed in here, I needed to make an extra effort for ventilation. For the fridge, I needed to ventilate it. I cut out like these big foam ventilating like insulation stuff, put that all around the fridge, plopped that in there. Then we also cut a hole in the bottom for the plumbing. Where did it go?
I don't know.
Is it through the gas tank? I can't tell if he's joking.
Damn it.
What?
It's nowhere near the gas tank. But there's a metal vertical bracket support, and it goes right to the edge of that.
How are we gonna fill a hole through the van though? With
What?
caulk?
You can just put caulk in there so dirt doesn't get in it.
So the way that my sink system works is my water, the clean drinking water I just get from jugs. I have 3 5-gallon jugs. The 2 that are underneath the sink feed into the sink, and then the gray water, the dirty water, feeds into a hole to the bottom of the van where there's a reservoir mounted up to the top. So I had to install that, and then I have a switch that releases that into the ground wherever I am, wherever I can be. And then we also got tubing from the water pump all the way to the back of the van. That way I could have access to the water from the back of the van. So yeah, I did that. So now you're putting the soldered wire in the canal.
In the terminal block.
Terminal block.
Too much current goes through it. That's on. If too much current flows, it'll pop open like that. Or you can push the red button to open it.
Mochi, what are you looking at? Go get it. Get your toy. Oh, we're so mean to you.
Oh, you poor thing. Oh, you want mommy to get it for you? I go get it.
No, Mom.
No, that's cruel.
We keep trying to work and he's giving us toys to fetch.
Yeah.
He won't leave us alone. The next thing I did was the drawers underneath the bed and the bed frame itself. The bed frame itself has a lot of different components. Some of the big components are I put aluminum and I mounted it onto the metal of the van itself, and that was some of the points of access for the bed frame, the mattress to sit on. Alright, we did quite a lot here. We have the bed frame up, but we used brackets to connect it to original holes that were in the van itself. So here's a bracket and it comes down and across. This will support the mattress, and there will be a hinge over here where it hinges upwards, and this will be pretty much a queen size bed. We're gonna have to cut out some notches for here and there. This is a little embarrassing. It's supposed to be a drawer, and I measured it wrong. Oh my gosh, it's so weird.
Look at these. Get the antennas.
His antennas are so long, it's scaring me. He's ready to attack you. Oh my gosh!
Dizzy from the way this world is turning, turning. Different from the way our mothers told us. Can't seem to figure out which way is up or down. Can you point me in the right direction now? We're all just trying to find our place, but each day could go a million ways. I guess we're all running the same.
We're like intertwined. Gotta fix it. After that, another big problem arose. It wasn't really a problem, but I haven't seen anyone build out a passenger van. I don't know, maybe I haven't done extensive research into it, but it was really hard to figure out what I was going to do above the windows, because above the windows were airbags, so I didn't really know what to do. What I ended up doing was I just got plywood and I literally had to trace out the curvature of the van and then cut that out. After that, I painted it, I sanded it, well, wrong order. I sanded it, then I painted it, and I installed those in. At this point, it was kind of just time to do all the extra little details. So I cut out little trim for around the sunroof. I figured out what I was doing with this little plant box back here, which is really just an airbag. And so yeah, I covered that up with a plant box and fake plants that I got at the store. Let's see, what else did I do? I also spray painted the existing ventilation system back there. I spray painted, a lot of this stuff was already here. It's like paneling that was already in the van, but I just spray painted it white. And then again, just more finishing touches. I got a queen size mattress that my family had already had, and I cut it out and then I sewed it up, just hand sewed it, took forever, put it on the bed, and voila, that was my mattress. The mattress is in. I finally cut everything out, oh my goodness, Mochi, hello my little animal. Mwah. Right? You're so cute. I stayed up till 5 a.m. last night, and I have been for the last few nights working on this van because I only have a week left, and I put my mattress in, so everything is coming together, but I still have a lot to do. And then I sewed all the curtains. I did the last finishing touches. I did the rods for the curtains, which I did with aluminum, and honestly, they're not the best. Like, I think that if I could change one thing, it would be the curtain system with the aluminum. But I was kind of just in a rush and didn't know what to do, and so I had to get innovative. So I got small little aluminum rods, I put the curtains on there, and I screwed those into the metal of the van. So yeah, I think that's basically it. That is how I built my 2017 Ford Transit into a camper van. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!